I'm going to be showing you a pretty timeless design. This is some super advanced rocket surgery complexity stuff that only highly certified YouTube welders should attempt. But as you can see, if you can power through the advanced tasks of joining a piece of scrap pipe to a piece of scrap plate and another piece of scrap plate and then running 3 bolt holes through it, you can have an extremely high quality, very versatile stand for pretty much no money. This wheel is actually left over from a truck that I bought just for the engine a couple years ago, so I had it laying around. I believe it or not, I didn't spend a single dollar out of pocket to build this. It's just all stuff I already had. And what's really great about these, this is actually the second one that I built. The first one is over here, and I built this several years ago. It works great. These stands, you know, they're very simple to put together, they're very sturdy, they're very versatile, and they're even somewhat portable. It's not something I'd want to have to move 100 yards every day, but you can roll them around just like you would a 55-gallon drum. I put this one together in about an hour, and so here is how I did it. This is some scrap 1/4-inch plate that I'm cutting on, so, you know, cut really quickly here. Now I will say, you know, I thought the 1/4-inch plate was a pretty good match for the project that I'm doing, but I think that, to be honest, unless this is a stand that for some reason you're really going to be hammering on or whatever, if all you have is like 1/8 inch or maybe even 14 gauge, that'd probably be fine. Now most of us know, and for those that don't, I'll say it anyway, you don't want to, you know, cut on or weld on a rim with a mounted tire because the tire builds a lot of pressure and heat and explodes. So I just decided to run a few quick bolts through this. From there I cut out the top plate for this wondrous, you know, magnificent, triumphant creation here with the plasma cutter. I just use a straight edge, just a piece of scrap plate. You know, it doesn't have to be anything fancy. And from there, it's really just a matter of getting all the stuff straight and square and making sure everything lines up, you know, nice and perpendicular to the pipe, and then we weld it in place. Now, since there's a little bit of paint on this pipe, you know, I tried to wire wheel immediately around where I was going to be welding, but you know, you always miss a little bit, and then there's like some mill scale and some surface rust on some of the steel. I decided I was going to stick weld this, just use some standard 7018. Really like the way that it, you know, everything went pretty smoothly with that. It's a nice and reliable process. And from here, this is what we're left with. It's really just a matter of running all the bolts through this and putting it together. Now, I will say that initially I was going to try to bolt the pipe folder, technically it's called a pipe bender, but really it's just a pipe folder, onto this stand right here, which you can see I'm taking the burrs and everything off of now. However, it was a little bit of a challenge to get holes drilled in that because the base of that's not the largest thing in the world, and there's like a jack and supports and braces and everything, and it's an odd angle, so I just tack welded it on there. Probably best if you bolt it down, but honestly this is never coming off, so I wasn't really all that worried about it, and this is the stand that I made. Trust me guys, if I can do this, you can do this too. It's a very versatile tool for basically no money and very little time. So check it out guys, the paint on this is mostly dry, and I will say I'm really happy with the way this came out. And as you guys can see, this thing is sort of tall. However, that's a necessity because, you know, since this is the finest hydraulic pipe folder that the Chinese can build, every time I use it I am a little bit worried about the thing coming apart, and there's a lot of pressure there. Therefore, I want this thing up about as high as I can comfortably use it, so hopefully if things go flying, they go, you know, they go up that way and they don't take off my head or whatever. If this was way down here, I'd be worried about getting hit in the face with flying stuff. If something bad happens, not saying it will, but that is why I decided to make this thing so tall. So we got that. One thing that I decided sort of like halfway through this build, at first I was gonna have like little stems that come off here to hold the pipe dies and everything. However, I decided that while this certainly isn't unstable, I really wouldn't mind having the extra 20, 30, I don't know, maybe 40 pounds of weight. Those things, they don't look like much, but they're solid cast iron, all the way down at the base, excuse me, of this stand. So that's what I did. I feel like that's gonna help with that quite a bit. And yeah, it's really easy to get in here. You know, you can just put your piece of pipe in here. Everything's pretty much at eye level, right where I'd like it to be. This thing is nice and stable. What's not to love? I hope this video gives you some ideas. Have fun. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe for more. And do this at your own risk if you're gonna do it. Cheers.